Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. It is Makeover Monday, so today we are here with an OG Townie makeover of Miss Olive Specter, who in The Sims 3 resides with her son Nervous Subject in the store world of Midnight Hollow. But to understand Olive Specter, I feel like we've got to go back. We've got to take it back to The Sims 2 days, because I do believe that Olive Specter is the first and original Black Widow of the Sims series, and probably the first and only serial killer that we have had in the Sims franchise. When I say Olive deserves to be on an episode of Snapped, the girl deserves to be on an episode of Snapped. She snapped several times because anybody that comes into her path or she comes across, they end up dead. Lila Grunt, ex-wife of General Buzz Grunt, dead. Her parents, Lorato and Peponi, dead. Her sister, Willow, and her sister's husband, Creon, dead. All of them just dead. And let's not forget all of Olive's husbands. She is a many-time married woman. She is a widow, and her husbands include Euthanasia, Rigor Mortis, and Ichabod Specter. Now, when I talk about lore and how much I miss the lore in the Sims franchise for The Sims 4, this is what I'm talking about. Olive has got such a rich history, and there is so much to learn about her that it's just immense and it's mind-blowing, and all the ties that she has to different Sims, it's just crazy. But one thing that I want to mention before we go into her Sims 2 days and then move on to Sims 3 is her skin tone. Now, I don't know if EA did her completely dirty or my game is borked, but you'll notice that her skin tone is very gray, and I don't like it at all. If you look at her Wikipedia page, it shows on the scale that her skin is meant to be a very, very dark, lovely chocolate brown, but in The Sims 3, it's gray. So when we get to the extreme makeover, I end up changing her skin tone, which is something that I never ever do when I'm making over Sims. I don't change their skin tones ever, but I felt like I needed to do that for Olive for the extreme makeover. So I just wanted to get that out of the way. So let's talk about her Sims 2 days. So in The Sims 2, she lives in Strangetown with her niece Ophelia, who's the daughter of Willow and Creon. Remember, they're dead. And they're both deceased, and they're buried in Olive's garden. She's got loads of Sims buried in her gardens, which is just a little bit creepy to me. And then as well, Olive here did the dirty with the Grim Reaper, which suggests that they were in a relationship, and that is how she got her son Nervous Subject. But in The Sims 2, Nervous was taken away by the social worker, and he ends up living with the Beakers. So he lives with Loki and Circe Beaker. And before we move on to The Sims 3, let's just talk about Olive's graveyard. So there's a number of people buried in Olive's backyard, along with family and former husbands. So many of them have names that are related to death. This is very clever of EA. So we've got Euthanasia, Early Demise, Rigor Mortis. But Olive's biography states that she will stop at nothing to get what she wants. It also states that she spends her time sharpening sticks, which may suggest her use of a weapon for her victims, and as well as excavating her yard, which gives the clue that she spends her time digging holes to bury the bodies of her victims. And also her surname is Specter, and that is related to death, as a specter is another term for a ghost. So I love all of this backstory and everything tying together. This is what I love about The Sims. Anyway, in The Sims 3, she appears with Nervous Subject, her son, in Midnight Hollow. And like I said, Nervous Subject is the result of a union between Olive and the Grim Reaper. Now, what kind of Sim do you have to be in order to let the Grim Reaper impregnate you? Like, you've just got to be into death. And I don't know, it's just mind-boggling, her whole story. Like, why would you let the Grim Reaper impregnate you? But anyway, like I said, Olive here is a many times over widow, and probably, like I said, the first black widow that we've had in this series. And actually pointing it out in her outfit, you can kind of see that she's wearing this medallion or this like pendant, and it kind of looks like a spider. So I think that goes along with the lines of her being a black widow. But her romances, her husbands include Early Demise, Euthanasia, Rigor Mortis, and Ichabod Specter, and then another romance with the Grim Reaper, like I said. But oddly enough, Early Demise does not appear in Midnight Hollow. He is not buried in her backyard like Euthanasia and Rigor Mortis and Ichabod Specter. There's actually a grave in Dragon Valley that reads, "Reserved for Early Demise, and what's this about Easter eggs?" So, like I said, I love the lore, I love the drama, I love the backstories that EA incorporated into The Sims 2 and The Sims 3, and I really want to see that for The Sims 5, because I don't think it's coming for The Sims 4, but they need to start tying the stories back together. And what I would really love to see is maybe a different age range, because in The Sims 3, Olive Specter is an adult, and in The Sims 2 she is actually an elder. So maybe if The Sims 5 was like a timeline of teenagers, that could be really cool, and she could be dating one of her first husbands when the game first starts, and you know, oops, maybe he drowns. I don't know, or he's electrocuted. Lila Grunt was electrocuted. So, you know, I don't know. Olive is just off her rocker, and I am absolutely here for it. So in The Sims 3, she is actually in the culinary career, and she is a vegetable slicer. A vegetable slicer, you say? That means big, sharp knives. So who is she gonna stab this time? And her traits are bookworm, commitment issues, friendly, light sleeper, and unlucky. Now, I'm not sure how I feel about her traits in The Sims 3, because I'm pretty sure that in The Sims 2 she was a serial romancer. I could have that completely wrong, but I feel like she should have like an irresistible trait, because how else is she gonna get all of these men if she's not irresistible? And her zodiac sign is Aries, and her lifetime wish is living in the lap of luxury, which makes complete sense if she's going to marry all of these dudes and then kill them all. Like, maybe she's going to go after Mortimer Goth next. Probably not in The Sims 3, because in The Sims 3 he's a child, but you guys understand what I mean. And then her favorites are indie, cookies, and Irish green. Now, I did use a little bit of green in the OG makeover, and then I used even less in this version of her, because I don't really like the color Irish green. Like, I've put in the hex code before and it's just too loud. So I used a very dark green on her outfit in the OG makeover, and in this one I don't think I used any green at all. I just went for black. I feel like black should have been her favorite color, because, you know, she is a black widow and she loves darkness. Just darkness surrounds her. Before I finish this Townie makeover, I just want to rewind and talk about Olive's memories from The Sims 2. There are a lot more Sims that are buried on her lot than just her husband. So if you go into the memories on the Wikipedia page, it'll tell you about all of the Sims that have died, and most of them are buried on her lot, and most of them are service Sims. So you've got Danielle died, Tim Lee died, Seth died, Patrick died, Melissa died, Jessica died, Benjamin died, Vicky died, Lou died, Nut died, and Luke died. I mean, oh my god. She's crazier than we thought. She definitely snapped. And the final thing before I love you and leave you guys with some music. As y'all know, Midnight Hollow is a store world, so I want to give away a copy of the world to someone. So if you would like Midnight Hollow, please leave your Sims 3 ID down below in the comment section, and I will randomly choose a winner, probably towards the end of this month or the beginning of November. And I'll make an announcement on the community tab when the exact date is going to be. But anyway, if you enjoyed this makeover, make sure to do all those cool interweb things like comment and subscribe. Make sure you've got that bell ding dong so you're notified whenever I do upload. But for now, I'm gonna skedaddle. Don't be a plum stranger now, guys. Bye!